Hi, welcome. For today's class, we are doing kind of a Pilates for runners. Do not be afraid if you are not a runner. This is still great for you. We're working on contralateral slings both in the anterior and posterior part of your body. We're also working on hip stability. All of those things are really helpful even if you just walk to your kitchen or go up and down stairs. For today's class, we have the option of adding some hand weights / ankle weights. I'm using these bala bangle ones, which I enjoy very much since I can conveniently use them as both hand weights and ankle weights. If you do not have either of those at your house, feel free to grab some kind of like cans of food or any two objects of similar weights. Once you have your props, if you're going to use them, we're just going to start seated. You can have your knees bent, feet flat on the mat, or you can have your legs crossed, whatever feels best for you. I'm doing cross so that I can sit upright, have a nice tall spine. And we're going to start with some breathing. So here I want you to close your eyes, take a nice deep inhale, and exhale. Good. As you inhale, can you lengthen your spine, trying to reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Shoulders relax, and then exhale, maintain that height, but start to draw your waist in, especially those front ribs. Deep breath, grow tall. And exhale, wrapping that waist in, knitting those front ribs together. Now start breathing to the sides and back of your ribs. Getting to that diaphragm breath. Again, helping you find kind of more of an aligned position of your body and spine, helping you breathe a little deeper. Last two, sending your breath further towards the back of your ribs, keeping those front ribs closed. And exhale, wrapping that waist in like you're being tied into a corset. Final breath. And exhale. Beautiful. You're going to start with your feet flat on the mat, knees softly bent. Grab onto those hand weights if you've got them. You're going to reach your arms nice and long. Again, keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Taking an inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to tuck your pelvis, roll back halfway, moving one vertebrae. Inhale, and then exhale, rolling all the way back up, finding that nice tall spine in neutral. So exhale, tuck your pelvis. Imagine that someone punched you in the gut, and you're arching your spine away from that punch. And then rolling back up. We're going to do 6 more here. When you're rolling up, I want you to think about coming an inch up first from those upper abs. So you're bending at that bra line and then reaching all the way up into neutral. So we really get those upper abs to work instead of just kind of pulling ourselves up through our hip flexors. Last 3. We've got 2. Excellent. And on this next one, you're going to roll back halfway and hold it there. We're going to do tiny pulses again, bending at that bra line. You're curling up a tiny inch, reaching your hands an inch forward, and then rolling back that inch. And curl, and back, pulsing here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, drawing your belly button in towards your spine for 3, and after this last one, you're going to roll all the way back up, inhaling here at the top. We got 3 variations left. You're gonna roll back halfway and hold it there. Arms are nice and straight. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, reach your arms up as far as feels good for you. Making sure that when your arms come up, your shoulders don't hike up into your ears. Your shoulder blades are staying long and down around your back. So here, holding that halfway roll back, you're lifting and lowering your arms with control. Making sure that when your arms lift, you also don't flare your rib cage open. So you keep those front ribs knitted together. Going here for 6. And 4. Heels nice and heavy on the mat. Last 2. Beautiful here. And after that last one, you're going to hold that halfway roll back. Flip your palms to face up. Softly bend your elbows. You're going to open your arms into a wide V and then draw them back in with control. So when your arms open into a wide V, make sure you don't open them all the way out into a T. You want to keep your hands at least around the corners of your eyes, always keeping an eye on them, kind of like an untrained puppy. You know, as soon as you take your eyes off them, something's bound to go wrong. So here, soft bend of your elbows. That's making sure we're getting your rotator cuffs to activate and work here. And then try and go nice and slow so that your torso and your chest stay completely steady in the movement. That way we're starting to already engage your obliques, wake up your core a little bit more. Last 3. 2. Final 1. Sitting all the way up for an inhale. Nice deep breath. Last variation here. You're going to roll back halfway. Hold it there. Hands come together in front of your chest. Elbows are bent out to the side. We're going to twist at your rib cage. So as you exhale, twist to the left. Come back to center as you inhale, and then switch sides. Exhale, twist to the right. So make sure here that when your chest rotates, you don't see your knees twisting in the opposite direction. You want to keep your pelvis steady. You want to keep your kind of like hips nice and steady so that when you twist, again, it's coming from your obliques and really getting just your rib cage to turn here. Also, feel free to ditch the weights if at any point it does not feel good. We just have 4 more to each side. Keeping your hands right in line with the center of your chest. That way we're, again, making sure we're twisting from our rib cage instead of just sending our arms out to the side, getting our body to trick our brain. Last 2. Final 1 to each side. And come back to center, reach your arms long, sit all the way up, nice deep breath. I want you to reach your arms long once more, and this time you're going to exhale and slowly roll all the way back down until you're lying down on your back. Beautiful. You can rest those weights down by your side. Knees are still bent. Make sure you've got your feet about fist distance between your feet. Arms nice and long. We're going to go for some bridges here. So as you exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine. Tuck your pelvis so you're pressing your low back down into the mat. And then slowly lift your hips up, letting each vertebrae follow one at a time until you reach your shoulder blades. Inhale here at the top. Feel your knees reaching long over your toes. So again, we're finding length in the front of your hips. We're finding engagement in the back of your legs. And then exhale, melting all the way back down. Beautiful. We're just going to do 7 more like this. So pelvis tucks, hips lift, knees reach long, squeezing your butt, making sure that you don't thrust your hips so far up that you overextend in that low back. You want to keep your pelvis tucked. So again, all the work comes from the back of your legs. And if that feels good, you can grab those weights and reach them up towards the ceiling. As you come up into your bridge, you can lower your arms down towards your hips. And And then reach them back up as you melt your spine back down. Last 4. We've got 2. Excellent here. And on this next one, you're gonna hold that bridge at the top, again, keeping your pelvis nice and tucked. You can keep your arms by your hips if that feels good for you. You can hold them up towards the ceiling or rest them all the way down towards the mat, whichever you prefer. So here, you're going to let your right hip sink an inch down towards the mat and then squeeze your butt to lift that hip back up. Then your left hip sinks an inch down and then lift back up. This hip dip is happening with control through your internal obliques, which are kind of right by your hip points, and your glute muscles. So you want to make sure that you're not letting that hip dip so far down that you're twisting in that low back. Again, keep that pelvis tucked, keep control in the movement, nice and slow, and keep it small so it stays in that pelvis, in your butt, and in your abs. This is a super important movement, especially if you run, because your hip naturally rotates as you run. And your shoulders will counter-rotate in response. Even though there's a certain degree of it that is completely normal, it often happens that if we over-rotate in our shoulders or over-rotate in our hips, the counterpart will counter-rotate excessively, and that's where a lot of low back pain starts to kick in. Looking good here. If you got those hand weights up, reach them towards the ceiling. When your right hip dips down, can you bend that left elbow? And then reach it up. Left hip dips, right elbow bends out to the side, doing kind of like this half goalpost position. And then reach your arm up with your hip. We're going to do just 3 more to each side. Two more to each side. Last one. And once you're evened out to the left, reach your arms up, tuck that pelvis a little bit more, and then melt all the way back down. Beautiful. Coming into neutral for an inhale. We got 2 variations left. So as you exhale, tuck that pelvis. You're going to lift up into your bridge. Again, feel free to bring your arms along with you if that feels good for you. You're holding your hands up, holding that bridge at the top. This time, you want to keep your pelvis completely still. Do not let it do those little hip dips we were just doing. March your right leg up into tabletop. Dig your left heel into the mat. And then bring it down. Follow it with your left. Left leg lifts and lowers. Beautiful here. Looking good. And when your left leg goes down, can you lower that left arm with you? And then bring your right leg up. Good. So we're holding it like this. Actually, no, you're going to bring both arms down. Don't listen to me. Good. So when your left leg lifts, that's when you lift your right arm. Lower it down with your left leg. When your right leg lifts, left arm lifts. And then lower it back down. Looking good. 4 more to each side, going at your own pace. Beautiful. Last 2. And next time that your right leg is up in tabletop, hold it there. We're gonna go for tiny pulses, squeezing the left butt, thrusting your hips up, nice and steady. Keep that pelvis tucked so we're staying out of that low back. Pressing that left heel down into the mat. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching sides. Right foot comes down, left leg lifts. Again, keeping that pelvis tucked, squeezing that butt, thrusting your hips up, digging that right heel down into the mat. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that left leg down, melt all the way back down. Nice deep breath. You can bring your knees in towards your chest for a breath. And then reach your legs long, arms up overhead for an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to tuck your chin and roll all the way up to sitting. Once you're up here, we're going to come on to all fours. So you're going to have your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, collarbones nice and wide. Beautiful. And I want you to feel like the crown of your head and your tailbone are reaching long away from each other, so you find a long line of your spine. Keep your collarbones wide. We're going to go for a little scapular push-up. So you're going to let your chest sink down, shoulder blades draw together, and then press your hands down into the mat, push your chest away, and let your shoulder blades draw apart from one another. So inhale, chest sinks, trying to reach the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. Don't let your elbows bend. Don't let your low back overarch. Keep your low abs drawing in towards your spine. Keep your spine in neutral. And then exhale, pressing into your hands, lifting your chest away. We're going to do 5 more. Just getting your shoulders warmed up, getting all those muscles that live between your shoulder blades and your spine activated. You want to make sure that when you're running, your collarbone is nice and wide. If you're hunched forward, you're throwing out of alignment your entire kind of kinetic chain, which is basically this chain where your body is supposed to be stacked up against one another. That is going to put a lot of pressure in the wrong places in your body. It's not going to let you kind of efficiently move through your form when you run. So you end up overexhausting yourself and probably injuring yourself in the long run. Also, in the short run, if you're hunched forward, you're kind of cutting off your airways, and we all know if you can't breathe very well when you're running, you're not running very far. After this last one, come right back into neutral. Again, collarbones wide. You're finding a spot between those two extremes, drawing those low abs in. We're going to go for that bird dog. Reach your right arm and left leg long. Feel like someone's pulling your heel and your fingertips away from each other. Left hand presses into the mat. Lift your chest away so we're not sinking down towards the floor. And then bring your arm and leg down. Adjust yourself here, making sure you minimize any shifts happening in your body as you switch side. Left arm, right leg. Again, pulling in opposite directions, pressing that right hand into the mat and lifting your chest away. We're going to alternate here, side to side, 7 more on each side. Beautiful. Four more. Two. And after this last set, we're going to start adding an elbow and knee tap in. Next time you lift your right arm and left leg, you're going to bend your knee and elbow to tap towards each other. Find a slight flexion of your chest and spine forward, and then move back out into neutral as you reach your arm and leg long. Bring them down and switch sides. Left arm, right leg, elbow to knee, chest flexes, neutral, arm and leg reach long. We're going to do 6 more here to each side. Four more. I love this exercise because you're kind of working a lot your shoulders, you're working those back muscles, you're working your core, you're working your butt, all muscles that we really need to have a strong and supported running form. Last 2. Final 1. Hold your right arm and left leg long. Again, press that left hand into the mat. Lift your chest away. You're going to open that right arm and left leg an inch out and draw it back in. Inch out and back in. Kind of mimicking a windshield wiper motion with your limbs here. 4, 4. 3, 2, 1. Bring that arm and leg down, switching sides. So again, last elbow to knee, reach your arm and leg long, hold. You're going to open them an inch out and back in. Keep your neck long. Make sure that your left shoulder isn't hiking up towards your ear. Pressing into that right hand, lifting your chest away. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Nice deep breath. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to grab those weights once more. We're going to come into a high kneel. So you're just kind of like sitting on your knees like such, nice and tall. Hips are open. Good. Taking a deep breath here. We're going to mimic kind of like a squat motion. So we're just going to hinge at our hips, lean our chest forward as our butt goes back, hovers an inch over our heels, and then squeeze your butt, hips open, come back into that high kneel. Beautiful here. Hips go back, chest forward, making sure that you're not overextending, you're also not flexing. Imagine if you had a metal rod running along your spine. It's preventing you from twisting too much, from bending too much. And then squeeze your butt. Beautiful. We're going to start adding our arms in here. So when your arms open out to the side, come down into that hinge, and then when you come up, fingertips touch. So we're kind of doing this jumping jack motion with our arms. Hinge at your hips, arms open. Open your hips, high kneel, hands touch. Going for 8, 7, 4 or 5. Keep your collarbones wide. Again, don't let your arms go forward, forcing your chest to flex. You want to imagine that you're stuck between 2 panes of glass, and you can only those 2 panes. For these last 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We're going to hold the squat here. You're going to hold your elbows bent in kind of that gold pose position. You're going to reach your arms long and forward and then bend them back. Arms reach long and forward and bend back in. So again, you're just kind of like squeezing together, reaching your arms long, and then feel your shoulder blades squeeze together as your elbows bend out to the side. Going here for 6. If the weights don't feel good, feel free to ditch them. We've got 4. Keep those low abs drawing in. 4, 2. Last 1. Excellent. You're going to place those weights off to the side. You're going to come up into your high kneel. Squeeze your butt. Nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, hinge at your hips. Again, lean that chest forward. We're gonna hold the squat here. We're gonna hinge from our hips even further to send our chest forward. And then squeeze your butt to hinge your chest back up. Chest forward, and then back up. Your hips aren't coming up or down. They're staying in place. You're just leaning that chest forward, bringing it back up, kind of like one half of a seesaw. It doesn't bend, it doesn't overextend or flex. Good, we're just pivoting from our hips, using our butt for this movement. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. After that last one, stand all the way up, squeeze your butt, nice deep breath. Beautiful. We're gonna grab our ankle weights. Again, if you don't have one, don't worry about it. So for this one, you're going to have your ankle weight around your left ankle. Keep the extra ankle weight off right in front of you so you can easily reach it in a moment. Good, so for here, you're gonna reach that left leg long. Hold it out as such. And you're gonna start with your hands behind your head. For here, you're going to side bend up and over to the right. And then come right back up. So we're starting to get into those obliques a little bit more here for these side bends. Make sure that when you bend to the right, you're not just kind of crunching in your right waist. Think about length. You're reaching up and over. So if you're trying to jump over a kind of like pole or fence. And then really using your obliques to lift your chest back up. Going here for 6. Beautiful. Last 3. And after this last one, you're going to hold that side bend. You're going to twist your chest down to the floor and then back up. Down to the floor and back up. For 6. 4. 2. Last one. Coming right back. You're going to lower your right hand down towards the mat. Beautiful here. Maybe scooch your right knee a little bit away. Reach your left arm overhead. Lift that left leg. And you're going to go for knee drives. So again, knee to elbow. And then reach out long. Knee to elbow and reach out long. Make sure here that your right hand, again, is pressing into the mat. You're lifting your chest away, so we're not just sinking down in our shoulder. We're still using our right waist and abs on the right side of our waist to support. Last 5. We've got 3, 2, last 1. Excellent. You're going to lower that leg down. Nice deep breath. Rest your wrist here if you need to a little bit. We're going to work for some left glute work here. So you're going to lift that left leg up and lower it back down. Left leg lifts and lowers. Looking good. Going here for 6, 5, 4, keeping both sides of your waist nice and long. Last 2. Hold on this last one. You're going to sweep that left leg back and sweep it forward. Making sure here that as your leg sweeps, your pelvis doesn't move with you. So you don't want to let your low back pinch and overarch. and then you don't want to let your pelvis kind of tuck as your leg sweeps forward. That way, it means that you're kind of getting all the work to come from your back instead of from your butt, which is where we want to work on. So keep your pelvis squared, hips stacked, so you don't have one hip back, one hip forward, and you're reaching that leg back, finding a squeeze in your hamstring and butt, and then sweeping it forward so you find a bit of length on those same muscles. Last 3. 2. 1. Don't hate me here, but you're going to hold that left leg lifted. I know, just a little bit more. Draw little tiny circles forward with that left leg. 4, 5. 2. And then switch the direction of that circle, circling back. Nice and tiny with control. 4, 4. 2. And after that last one, beautiful, you can lower that left leg down. We're going to come down to our side plank. So here, have your right elbow down on the mat. You're going to have your left foot forward, right foot back for this one. Inhale. Make sure you've got your elbow underneath your shoulder. I like to have my palm facing up. That's going to help keep an external rotation of my shoulder so that I'm not hunching forward here. And again, using serratus for a bit more support. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And you're going to come up into that side plank. Good. You can hold it here if this feels good. And we're going to start with a bit of a chest twist here. So you can bring your left hand behind your head or keep it long. And you're going to just rotate your chest down to the floor and back up. Rotate down to the floor and back up. We're going to do 3 more here. 2. And after that last one, you're going to hold that side plank. This time, you're going to sweep your right knee in and then reach it back out long. Right knee bends in, and then reach that right leg long. 4, 3. You're going to feel that left inner thigh start to burn a little bit here when your knee bends in. Last one. Hold the side plank. We're combining those 2 movements. So hand behind your head for this one. When your knee bends in, can you twist your chest down and then back? 4, 5. 4. Last 2. Beautiful. 1. And you can lower all the way back down. Whew. Nice deep breath. Take that ankle weight off. Once you have it off, we're going to lie down on our stomach. Excellent. So here, engagement in your hamstrings and your butt. Getting that thigh muscle to warm up. You've got a light tuck of your pelvis, so you feel your pubic bone pressing into the mat. Gaze is down, neck is long. You're going to open your arms out to the side, thumbs up. So have your thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling, again helping you find an external rotation of your shoulders, keeping your collarbones wide. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, lift your thumbs up towards the ceiling. And then lift your chest, finding extension. And lower back down. Exhale, dig your pubic bone in towards the mat, lifting your chest, and then lowering back down. Beautiful. Going here for 5. 4, 4. Collarbones wide, shoulders are down. Neck is long. If you feel like you're pinching in your low back, maybe keep this smaller. Think about reaching your legs a little longer, getting your butt to turn on. And on this last one, you're going to find squeezes here with your arms. You're pulsing those thumbs an inch up, getting your shoulder blades to squeeze for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relaxing, nice deep breath. So again, working your back, especially all those spine stabilizing muscles and shoulder stabilizing muscles, is super important for your runs. You don't want to be hunched forward when you're running. You want to have a nice tall spine so that we're properly aligned, making sure that our form is strong. We're pushing off the ground with our butts. We're absorbing the shock with the arch of our feet and with our core. All super important things that I'll get into at a different time with more details if you guys want. So here we're going to grab the ankle weights once more. This time ankle weight is going to be around your right ankle. Beautiful, we get to start all over again. So for this one, you're going to start in that high kneel. You're going to reach that right leg long and out. Beautiful, hands behind your head, elbows bent. You're going to side bend up and over to the left, getting into those obliques, and then back up. So make sure that when you're side bending, you're not letting your chest kind of like lean forward. You're not overextending. Again, you're stuck between two panes of glass. So you reach up and over, and then use your obliques to lift right back to center. Going here for 6. Again, trying to go up and over, kind of like a rainbow. For 4. Last 2. And after that last one, beautiful. You're going to side bend up and over and hold it there, twisting your chest down, and then back up. Twisting your chest, making sure that your pelvis does not twist with you. So keep this as small as you need to. For 4. 3, 2, 1. Coming right back to center. Inhale, you're going to bring that left arm down, left hand down. Sweep that knee a little bit further down away from your hand. Right arm reaches up and over, lifting that right leg, going for that knee drive. Elbow to knee, reach long. Elbow to knee, reach long, pressing that left hand into the mat, lifting your chest away. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. You can lower that leg down. Make sure you've got your hand underneath your shoulder. Again, lifting away. You're going to lift that right leg and lower it back down. Right leg lifts and lowers. Going here for 7, 6, 5, 3. You should feel that butt burning up. Also, you should feel your left butt working like crazy. It's stabilizing you in this position. On this last one, you're going to hold that leg up. Kick it back again, finding a squeeze of your hamstring and butt, and sweep that leg forward. I like to flex my foot, so I'm driving my heel back in space. That's going to get the back of your leg muscles to activate a bit more. Low abs stay in, so again, pelvis doesn't move with you. And then sweep your leg forward. Last 5. 3. Last 1. Beautiful. Bring that leg right back to center. Keep it lifted. Drawing little tiny circles forward with that leg. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then switch the direction of that circle. Excellent. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. Lower that leg down. Carefully come all the way back down. We're going to go for that side plank. So again, elbow is going to be on the mat underneath your shoulder. Palm facing up if that feels good for you. Right foot forward, left foot back, so you have them staggered for position here. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, press into your feet, into your elbow, and lift your hips off. Beautiful. Starting with that chest rotation. You can thread a needle, or just have your hand behind your head and twist down, whichever feels best for you. We're just going to do 4 more here. Last one, and hold. You're going to press that right foot down into the mat, reach that right hand up towards the ceiling, bend that left knee in, and then reach that left leg long. Left knee in, and left leg long. Right inner thigh is going to start burning any second now. Last 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hold it here. We're combining those 2 movements. Right hand behind your head. You're going to twist your chest as your knee comes in and back. 4, 5, 4. Keep pressing into that left form. Last 2. Final 1. Beautiful. You can lower all the way back down. Nice deep breath. Whew. We're going to lie down on our stomach once more. We're going to go back for some extension work. So from here, lying all the way down, you're going to reach your arms over. Actually, start with your elbows bent by your side. Legs reaching long again, engaging your hamstring, that thigh muscle. Pelvis tucks into the mat. Pubic bone digs in towards the floor. Low abs up and in towards your spine. Keep your neck long so your gaze is down towards your mat, not forward. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to lift your chest, reach your arms up overhead, bend them out to the side, and then lower your chest down. We're going to do 7 more like this. So exhale, chest lifts, arms go overhead, elbows bend, and lower. Making sure that when your arms go overhead, shoulders, again, stay away from your ears. You feel your shoulder blades gliding down your back. Last 3. Final 1. And after that last one, you can relax, take a deep breath. You're going to lie down on your back. Reach your arms up overhead. Inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to roll all the way up. Take the ankle weight off if you still got it on. You're going to grab your weights. Start with your knees bent, arms reaching long. You're going to tuck your pelvis and roll back halfway, and then hold it here. Can you bring your right leg up to tabletop? Left leg comes up to meet it. So now we're balancing on our sits bones. You're keeping your low back rounded, keeping your tailbone kind of pressing in towards the mat here. Arms straight, shoulders will stay down your back. You're going to exhale, lift your arms up overhead, and then lower them back down. This might be a much smaller movement than when we did earlier in class with your feet on the mat. Completely fine. You once again focus on keeping your shoulders away from your ears and keeping those front ribs knitted together so you really get your core to do the work. We're going to do 5 more here. 4. Last 2. Beautiful. After that last one, flip your palms to face up. You're still holding this teaser. You're going to open your arms out to a wide V and draw them back in. Wide V and draw them back in. Going here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and after that last one, bring your feet down, sit all the way up. One last thing here. Take a deep inhale. Feel free to ditch the weight if you want to. You're going to roll back halfway, hold it there. place the weights off to the side for this one. Actually, it might feel better. You're gonna have your legs in tabletop, arms reaching long. Reach your legs long as you lower your chest down about 2 inches, and then bring your chest to your knees as you come up. So legs long, lowering down, knees bend, drawing your chest in. 4, 6. 4. 2. And after that last one, bring your feet down, sit all the way up. Nice deep breath. And we're gonna come all the way up to standing. So grab your weights if you want to. You're gonna hold them in your hands. Once you're all the way up to standing, make sure you've got your feet about hip width apart, toes pointing straight forward. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to come down into your squat, reach your arms long and forward. And then stand, squeezing your butt at the top. So again, making sure that when you squat, you're sending your hips back, you're bending your knees just over your heel and ankle. So we keep the weight in your heels, keep the back of your legs working, kind of same as we were doing in that high kneel squat work. Arms reaching long, so your shoulders stay away from your ears. And then squeeze your butt, come all the way up to standing. We're gonna do 8 more. Last 4. 2. And on this last one, you're gonna hold that squat. You can bring your hands in front of your chest and tiny pulses, up an inch and down, up an inch and down. You're drawing those little abs in, keeping your spine nice and long. You're pressing from your heels, so the pulses come from that butt muscle. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, standing all the way up. Nice deep inhale. You're gonna exhale, come right back down into that squat and hold it there. Can you try and send all the weight into your right foot? You should feel your right butt start to warm up a little bit more. So much so that you can kind of either tap your toes lightly on the mat or lift them up. Lifting up is gonna be more of a challenge to hold for the single leg squat. If it doesn't feel good, you can just keep your toes lightly tapped down. All that really does is help give your body some feedback of where it is in space, which means that you find a little extra balance in this work. You're gonna sink a tiny inch deeper and then press into that right heel to stand, squeezing your butt at the top. Squatting down and standing back up. Going here for 8. And 6. I mean, we're at like 4 now. I can't count anymore. Last 3. Beautiful. On this next one, come down into that squat. Hold it there. Make sure you've got your knee tracking over your second and third toe, and tiny pulses down an inch and up, down an inch and up. Going here for 5, 4, 3. Hold it. You can lightly tap your left toes down. You're gonna open that left leg, tap your toes outside, bring it in, tap your toes inside. Tap your toes outside, tap them in. 4, 5, 4. Finding balance in that right leg. Last 2. Final 1. Standing all the way up. Bring your left foot down. Nice deep breath. Coming right back down into that squat. This time you're pressing all the weight in. Your right toes either lightly tap or lift off. You can sink a tiny inch deeper. Then press into that left heel to stand up in that single leg squat. Squeezing your butt at the top. And down. And back up. Trying to send your butt down and back in space. Keep your spine long again, so we're not flexing forward or overextending in your spine. Last 5. And 4. 2. Hold it down this last one. We're going to go for those pulses. Up an inch and down. Up an inch and down. 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. You're going to reach your right leg out and then tap your toes back in. Right toes tap out and back in. 4, 6. 5, 4. Try to lean back into that left heel. Beautiful. 4, 2, 1. Standing all the way up. Bring that right foot down. Beautiful. You can just kind of forward fold. Drop those weights down on the mat if that feels good for you. Taking a deep breath. We're going to walk all the way out so that we're in our plank. So here, we're in a high plank. You've got your pelvis lightly tucked, collarbones wide. You're going to open your feet out a little wider, about the width of your shoulders. And we're going to go for some shoulder taps. So right hand taps your left shoulder, and then left hand taps your right shoulder. Trying to minimize the shift happening here in your body as we do this tap, tap. Beautiful. Last 4 to each side. 3, 2, 1. Hold that plank. Lift that right leg up. Lower it down. Left leg lifts and lowers. Beautiful here. Think about length. Don't worry about height. We're trying to find that squeeze in your butt. Last 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees down here for a breath. We're going to combine those two movements. So when your right hand taps your left shoulder, your left leg lifts. And you're creating this balance between your left hand and right foot. And then switch. Left hand taps your right shoulder, right leg lifts, creating balance between your right hand and left foot. Take a deep breath here. When you're ready, come all the way up into that plank. Again, feet a little wider than your hips, about as wide as your shoulders maybe. You're going to tap your left shoulder with your right hand, left leg lifts, then switch. Right leg with left hand. Beautiful. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then knees down and child's pose. Beautiful work here. So I really like that last plank because we were doing a lot of work. Generally in planks, your entire body is already working. You've got your shoulders stabilizing you, you've got your core supporting you, you've got your butt engaged, making sure you're not dipping into your low back. And then adding kind of that shoulder tap with the leg lifts, we're challenging our stability and we're really forcing our obliques and those contralateral slings of our body to turn on and support us so we're not kind of, again, over-rotating in our shoulders and our hips. Good. From here, you can come all the way out, lying down on your stomach, hands by your chest, taking a deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to lift your chest and up dog. So collarbones stay wide. Keep your butt engaged so we're not going into your low back. Think about lengthening the front of your body. Beautiful. And then going into a nice little down dog for a second. Just so we get a bit of length in the back of our legs. Good, see if you can press your heels down towards the mat. You're piking your hips up towards the ceiling, digging the palm of your hands into the mat and pushing yourself away in towards your hips. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna lie down on our back. Go for a nice figure 4. You're gonna cross your left ankle over that right knee. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bring your hands behind your right thigh and pull your thigh bone in towards your chest. Beautiful. Bring that right foot down. Keep your left ankle crossed over that knee. Open your arms out to the side. You're going to let your knees fall to the left. Hip twist open to the left side, and you're going to turn your gaze towards your right hand. Getting a nice stretch in that low back. Coming right back to center, switching sides. Right ankle cross over your left knee, hands behind your thighs. Taking a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, pull that thigh bone in, finding a nice stretch in your right hip and butt. Flex your foot so you're protecting your knee. You're also getting a little extra stretch in those muscles. Excellent. You're gonna bring that left foot down, open your hands back out, keep that right ankle crossed over your knee. Let your knees fall over to the right. Hip twist open to the right. Gaze turns to the left. Breathing here. Then coming right back to center. You can just butterfly your legs open so the soles of your feet are together, knees are bent out to the side, creating this diamond shape. Arms can stay open to the side in a T, by your hips, over your stomach, wherever feels best for you. Just take this moment to close your eyes. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale. So here, really let go of everything. You want to take a nice deep inhale, letting your body expand in every direction as it fills up with air. And then feel how it melts down into the mat, how you start to release tension in your muscles and your joints as you exhale. Do 3 more breaths like this. Last one. Beautiful. If you want, you can just stay here, hang out for a little bit, keep breathing. If not, you did a wonderful job. This is our Pilates for Runners class, but again, don't let that scare you, even if you're not a runner. This is going to be great for you anyways. Thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, requests, feel free to email or message us through DM. And I hope you guys have a really nice day. Thanks for tuning in.